Difference between inclusive and global bundled in medical billing. Inclusive coding means putting together two or more related medical services or procedures into one code. This happens when one service is a necessary part of another. The idea is to avoid charging twice for services that are usually done together. For example, if a patient has a surgery that needs local anesthesia, the anesthesia service can be included in the surgery code. So, the coder only uses one code for both the surgery and the anesthesia. Bundling coding is when several different medical services or procedures are grouped together and given one single code. This is done to make billing and getting paid easier for a group of related services. Instead of sending separate bills for each service, a single code is used to represent the whole package of services. For example, think of a hospital offering a complete prenatal care package with services like checkups, tests, ultrasounds, and counseling. Instead of billing separately for each service, the hospital uses a bundled code to cover everything in the prenatal care package. To sum it up, inclusive coding combines related services into one code to avoid double billing, while bundling coding bundles multiple services into a single code to make billing and getting paid simpler. What is the Global Surgical Package? The Global Surgical Package is a single payment for all care associated with a surgical procedure. The payment is based on 3 phases of a surgical procedure. 1. Preoperative evaluation. 2. Intraoperative procedure. 3. Postoperative care for either 0, 10, or 90 days. Other names for the Global Surgical Package include postoperative period, global period, global services, surgical period, global package, and global surgery. 3 types of procedures have a global surgical package. 1. Simple procedures 0 global period. 2. Minor surgical procedures 10-day global period. 3. Major surgical procedures 90-day global period. Splitting the global surgical package. The global surgical package is made up of 3 parts. 1. Preoperative evaluation, 8 to 12% of the global package. 2. Intraoperative procedure, 70 to 80% of the global package. 3. Postoperative care, 7 to 20% of the global package. When a surgeon provides all 3 phases of the patient's care for a surgical procedure, the surgeon will bill the surgical procedure and receive payment for the entire global package. The surgical claim should report the procedure code, date of the procedure, and the appropriate modifier. Modifier 54, surgical care only. Modifier 56, preoperative care only. Modifier 55, postoperative care only. Modifier 54, surgical care only. Example, imagine a specialized brain surgeon, called a neurosurgeon, travels to a remote area to help a patient with a severe brain infection. First, he checks the patient's condition a day before the operation. Then, he performs the surgery to remove the infection from the patient's brain. After the surgery, a local surgeon takes care of the patient's follow-up visit. In this situation, the neurosurgeon would use a specific code, like 61321 with modifier 54, to report the surgery he performed. This code tells the billing department that he did the surgery during a special circumstance, and the surgery included both the assessment and the actual procedure. Modifier 55, postoperative care only. Example, imagine a patient who lives in Alaska needs surgery, but the best surgeon for the job is in California. So, the patient travels to California for the surgery. After the surgery, the patient goes back home to Alaska. Now, because the surgery included everything from the operation itself to the care afterward in the facility, the doctor who takes care of the patient back in Alaska, called an internist, doesn't need to bill separately for office visits. Instead, the surgeon in California and the internist in Alaska agree to share the payment for the surgery. Then, the internist can bill for the care they provide using the same code that was used for the surgery. And they include a modifier code, like 55, to show that they're billing for the postoperative care. Modifier 56. Preoperative care only. Example, before a surgery, the surgeon meets with the patient. During this meeting, the surgeon talks about the upcoming surgery, checks the patient's health to make sure they can handle the surgery, gets all the paperwork ready for the hospital stay, and has the patient sign forms to give their permission for the surgery. These tasks are usually not given to another doctor to do. In this case, the surgeon would bill for all the care before the surgery with a special code, and they would include a special note, like Modifier 56, to let the billing department know that this is for the preoperative care. Modifier 24. Unrelated E&M service by same physician during a postoperative period. Example, imagine a person had a special treatment on their lower backbone called radiofrequency ablation. This treatment comes with a 10-day period where they need to recover. Now, during this recovery time, the person injured their shoulder in a completely different way. So, they went to the doctor, who checked the shoulder injury and even ordered an MRI to see if there's a problem with the rotator cuff. In this situation, because the doctor is dealing with the shoulder issue and not the back treatment, they need to choose the right code for this type of visit based on the rules for recording medical services. They also add a special code, like Modifier 24, to show that this visit is about a different issue, not the backbone treatment. Modifier 25. Significant. Separately identifiable E&M service by the same physician on the same day of the procedure or other service. Example, imagine someone went to the doctor because they had a scalp problem. The doctor checked it, gave them medicine, and solved that issue. But during the same visit, the person mentioned a strange mole on their shoulder. The doctor thought it might be dangerous, so they did a quick test to check if it was cancer. Now, because the doctor did two different things during one visit, the scalp check and the mole test, they need to use a special code, like Modifier 25, to show that the mole test was an important, separate service on the same day as the regular doctor's visit. This way, both services can be billed separately with the right codes. Modifier 78. Unplanned return to the operating room during the postoperative period. Example, think of a person who had an operation to remove their appendix. After the operation, when they went for a follow-up visit, the doctor found out that, by accident, they had hurt the person's gallbladder during the first surgery. So, they had to take the person back to the operating room to fix the gallbladder. In this situation, the return to the operating room for the gallbladder fix is connected to the first surgery, so it's covered and the doctor can bill for it. They add a special code, like Modifier 78, to show that it's related to the original surgery. This way, they can get paid for both surgeries. Modifier 79. Unrelated procedure, performed by the same physician during the postoperative period. Example, imagine a patient had a procedure called nasoplasty, which means fixing the inside of their nose. This surgery has a 90-day recovery period. But during that recovery time, the patient had an accident that caused a cut on their lip. They came back to the doctor for help. Now, these two issues, the nose surgery and the lip cut, are completely different. So, when the doctor bills the insurance for fixing the lip, they use a special code, like Modifier 79, to show that this is a separate, unrelated procedure. This way, the doctor can get paid for both procedures. Modifier 57. Decision for surgery. Example, imagine someone has really bad knee pain, so they see a specialist called an orthopedic surgeon. During the visit, the surgeon carefully checks the knee, looks at their medical history, and does some tests like X-rays and MRIs. After looking at everything, the surgeon decides that surgery is the best way to fix the knee and make the pain go away. They talk to the patient about it during the same visit, explaining why surgery is needed and what it involves. The patient agrees to have the surgery. In this situation, the surgeon uses a special code on the bill for the visit called Modifier 57. This code tells the insurance company that during this visit, an important decision was made to do surgery. It's important because it helps the doctor get paid properly for the visit, and it shows that the decision for surgery was made during that specific appointment. Modifier 59. Distinct procedural service. Example, imagine a patient goes to the doctor with shoulder pain. During the visit, the doctor does two things. 1. Gives a shot in the shoulder to help with the pain. 2. Removes a small bump from the patient's hand. Even though both things happened on the same day, they're not related. To make sure the doctor gets paid for both, they use something called Modifier 59. It's like a special note that tells the insurance company that these are separate things, not just one. This way, the doctor gets paid right for each one. Some of important global modifiers list: 24 unrelated E&M service by same physician during a postoperative period. 25 significant, separately identifiable E&M service by the same physician on the same day of the procedure or other service. 76 repeat procedure by same physician. 77 repeat procedure by another physician. 78 unplanned return to the operating room during the postoperative period. 79 unrelated procedure performed by the same physician during the postoperative period. 80 assistant surgeon. 50 bilateral procedures. 51 multiple procedures. 52 reduced services. 53 discontinued procedure. 54 surgical care only. 55 postoperative management only. 56 preoperative management only. 57 decision for surgery. 59 distinct procedural service.
Enjoying this content? Show your appreciation by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing with others. Thanks, and I see you all on next one. Until take care and utilize your time. Bye-bye.